How's it going, people? It's your boy Podtastic here, and welcome to another Podtastic video. Hope you guys like my new name and design. I thought I'd change things up because it's the end of a year, and I thought it'd be the best thing to do, and I think I needed a revamp. So, like I said, I hope you guys like it. Your rival plays one of the biggest roles in any Pokemon game. Yeah, that's right. The guy that you named Buttface is actually one of the most important characters. They're challenging and they basically help you grow as a character along your journey. So today, we're going to be counting down the top 5 Pokemon rivals. Let's get started. So at number 5, we have Mei and Brendan from Generation 3. Now the reason that these two are at the bottom of the list is because they don't get that much action as the other rivals. They get a total of 5 battles, and your final battle with them isn't anything that special. In fact, you don't even get to see their final star evolution, which is extremely disappointing. Yet alone, they don't even have a full team of 6. It doesn't even feel like it's a final battle, and it feels like a battle was just left out of the game for some reason. Now I know this list is supposed to be more positive than negative, but these two rivals don't really have anything that make them stand out. They aren't involved in any major plot in the story, and to be honest, they aren't really that difficult to battle either, so they don't even give you a challenge. On the bright side of things, however, they were better than the rivals that we got in Generation 6, and at least they weren't so darn happy all the time. Seriously, dude, what are you on? That is not normal to be that happy all the time. That being said, that's all they really have going for them, which is why they're only number 5. So at the number 4 spot, we have Cherim from Generation 5. Cherim is a pretty solid rival, to be honest. In fact, he's probably the smartest rival on this list. You see him early on in the game basically giving you tips and advice like he's some kind of veteran, even though he isn't. And he also seems to be the most mature, trying to get things done and trying to stay out of trouble. Like most rivals, his main goal is to become the league champion, and he does whatever he can just to do that. However, he goes through some nice character development and questions how he'll become stronger, not to mention why he wants to become strong in the first place. This is what makes him a great rival. His ability to question his motives not only helps him, but I believe it is a direct message to the player too. Why do we want to become strong? What is the purpose of it all? What are the reasons of why trainers train over and over again to get their Pokemon stronger so that they can beat the champion? What's the purpose of all of it? Just think about that for a second. Now, in terms of strength, I wouldn't necessarily say that he's the hardest to beat. Neither would I say he's a pushover. He's in the in-between stage, which isn't too bad for a Pokemon game. I mean, even though Cherim is only number 4 on this list, guys, he still makes for a good rival. Coming in at number 3, we have Silver from Generation 2. Now I know what a lot of people are going to say. Oh, you call this ripoff of Garyoke a good rival? You put him over Cherim after all you said? And you don't know what you're doing and all that? And you know what? If that's what you want to believe, that's okay. But at least let me try to convince you otherwise. Silver is an awesome rival, and here's why. He's the exact opposite of what the player is supposed to stand for. He treats his Pokemon like crap, blaming them every time he loses. He treats you like crap, and even calls you a weakling, even after you beat him multiple times. He's a selfish, stubborn, arrogant asshole who never admits defeat. This is why I like him so much. He's the perfect counterpart to the main character, and he motivates you to prove him wrong by beating him with the Pokemon you love and care about. That just makes for a good rival in my eyes, and just a good Pokemon message in general. And then of course there's this. My boy kicks you 20 feet in the air. Classic. Number 2 here is going to be Barry from Generation 4. Barry is such an underrated rival, and just a character in general, both in the game and even in the anime. He's upbeat and patient, and best of all, he's funny as hell. Like, if you just go back and just play the games and just look at some of the dialogue that he has to say, he's absolutely hilarious. One of the great things that makes Barry such a good rival is his ability to motivate the player. Whenever you have two people pushing each other to be better, it's more than just a rivalry. It's a friendship. The great relationship that you have with Barry is more than just, two people who are trying to be the best. It's two best friends who are trying to be the best and outdo each other, but at the same time trying to push each other to be better. Now, I know your character doesn't have much of a personality, you're playing the game, and it really all depends on how you want to interpret it. However, battling with Barry is definitely pushing you. He's always saying, oh, too slow, you gotta be faster. He's like, I'm fining you $10 million if you're late.
I'll have to fine you.
He's always trying to push you and make you better. Trying to get on this level because he wants you to be on this level. He might act all tough and act like, he wants to be better than you. And in reality, that might be true. But deep down, he wants you to be right up there with him. And he wouldn't have it any other way. And that's why I believe that Barry is just one of the best. He's also very similar to Cherem in that he questions why he wants to become strong. He realizes that his previous methods haven't been working, so he decides that instead of trying to take shortcuts, that he needs to put in the work in order to succeed. That is true character development right there, and is another reason why I put him at number 2 on this list. Barry also has a pretty solid team every time you battle him, and if you don't come prepared, things can get pretty ugly very fast. Yeah, that's right, I'm looking at you, Endeavor Double Team Quick Attack Staravia. Screw you. Number 1, of course, is going to be good old Gary Oak. I know, guys, I know that Gary Oak being number 1 is like somewhat predictable and that most people would put him number 1 on their top 5 list. But there really wasn't any other option for this spot, and I believe Gary Oak deserves number 1 spot easily. Gary Oak always seems to be one step ahead of you. Whether it's through gym battles, just being farther ahead, Pokemon, everything, he just always seems to be one step ahead. I mean, he's also one of the only people who can make you feel like you've lost even though you've won. You constantly beat him over and over again, and he keeps on acting like he's the one who won. Now, I know Silver was kind of similar, and he used to say stuff like, oh, you're still a weakling even after I beat you. But with Gary, it's a lot different. Because with Silver, it was more anger. He was just mad that he lost and he was just trying to dismiss it. With Gary generally believes that he is better than you. He believes that he should have won all this stuff. Like, Gary actually believes it. I think that just makes for a great rival, because rivals are supposed to get you mad. They're supposed to anger you and make you want to do better and make you want to prove them wrong and beat them. Also, guys, 10 badges. My boy got 10 badges. I mean, anyone who had 10 badges in the 8-badge league is something special. And you know what else makes Gary Oak special? He got Eevee. Enough said. Gary Oak takes the number 1 spot for the best Pokemon rival. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, click that like button and tell me down below your favorite Pokemon rival. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe for more Pokemon content. I'll be uploading, more weekly content every week, so come over and check it out. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a podtastic day.